Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us this evening. We already having our session ongoing. If you are joining us for the first time, welcome to our learning community. This is a channel where I usually host various sessions on different topics. And today we are going to learn about conversational AI. For those who are joining us for the first time, you can subscribe to our channel, then hit the notification bell for you to be able to get real-time notifications when we are having either of our session. So you can take 5 seconds to just click on that subscribe button and also share our content to whoever is willing to learn from this community. Today, we are going to focus a little bit on artificial intelligence and a touch of cloud. We have our session panelists in the house already. He's a guest speaker. His name is Rogers Ndocha. Rogers is a Google developer expert in AI and cloud technologies. He also serves as the lead developer at Jonta. Jonta is an online solutions company, and it's also contributing to the growth of another startup known as Alina, which delivers data-driven solutions. So welcome. You can put your laptop or your desktop near you because today in our session, it's going to be fully practical. At the end of this session, you should be able to come up with something like chatbots, virtual AI agents, and Rogers is very well versed to take us through. I guess he'll also be letting us know what he has with regard to whoever is attending the session. I think he has some goodies for us, and he will let us know with regard to cloud credit. So, Rogers, welcome to our community, and thank you for honoring our invitation. So, over to you. You can now take it from this particular point. Welcome, Rogers.
All right. Thank you so much, Douglas. Thank you for that wonderful introduction, and thank you for inviting me here. Yeah, right. As Douglas has mentioned, I'm GDE. GDE stands for Google Developer Expert. I'm specializing in AI and the cloud. So today our session is going to be hands-on. That is like we will build something from ground zero, like to deployment, and then it's functional thing. As Douglas said, this is an era of AI. I know most of times we get confused because of the noise outside, like artificial intelligence from every corner, from every company to other, like, and then you wonder what you can build with artificial intelligence. So, and I think the common conversation which is going around is agents, building agents, and so many companies are rushing to build agents from individual levels or to companies, and sometimes you get stuck because the information out there is not complete, because someone can tell you like you need to write code to build an agent, and then maybe when it comes to deployment you are unable to deploy. So this session today I'm going to cover all that, or that's life cycle of building an agent. And then you will realize that it's not complex. Maybe it's not complex, yeah. And actually we are not going to code, so we are going to use a very useful tool on Google Cloud to build the agent. I'm going to show you shortly. And of course Google Cloud, of course, so many people get the confusion, like when somebody mentions Google Cloud, they think it's a very complex thing. I used to think like cloud solutions, you must be very skilled for you to navigate through, but it's turned out to be not true, because a cloud is just a computer, someone's computer. In this case, we can say it's a Google computer where you can access resources, you can use resources. So it's not something complex. And if today is your first time to access Google Cloud, we are going to do that. So and also I have goodies for you. As Douglas has said, I have goodies for you. I have $5 Google Cloud credits, and of course we are going to use the credits in this session. The rest of the credits you are going to use to test your own projects, which you are going to build today. So I want to share the link. I want to share the link for you to access the $5 credits. And the $5 credits, using $5 credits on Google Cloud, it's not. It seems like it's a less amount, but in terms of credits in Google Cloud, this huge amount for you to build a very huge application, or maybe to test some features on Google Cloud, for which needs credits for you to access. So I want to share the link. I don't know, Douglas, if I can share. I'm used to using Google Meet. Today I'm using Zoom. So just trying to navigate my way around. Where is the text chat feature? Yeah, I see it.
You can share it, then I can amplify it in the live chat box on YouTube. No worry.
Okay, I have shared on chat. So actually, using the link, you don't need to link to your credit card. I know I know when you are opening a Google Cloud account, you are supposed to link to your billing card, but for this case, you are not supposed to link. It will not prompt you to link a card, so it's it has no friction in terms of linking with your Google Cloud account. Douglas, you will let me know when you have shared the link. Yes, hello,
Yeah,
Douglas.
yeah, yeah. So as we wait for the link, if you're also new to this channel, you can subscribe to help us grow our learning community. Then you can use the YouTube live chat for any questions regarding this session. I'll be able to pick it up and share it with Rogers. So just a minute as I do that.
Okay, yeah. Actually, the main goal of this session, actually, you can be following through. If you feel like there's somewhere where you didn't get it correct. So the video is still there. You can just come back in time, and then you just do it as you practice at your own pace.
Yeah, so you can proceed.
Okay. Right, let me share my screen, and Douglas, maybe you have to help me. I'm trying to look for an option to share my screen. You can help me point out. I'm used to Google Meet. Today I'm using Zoom, so features, locating features, it's a bit challenge for me. Yes, Douglas.
Yeah, there's a share button. I think it should be at the center of the screen with highlighted green for sharing.
Green for sharing. I think I wanted to ask you on the same because on my side, I can't see green.
Okay, just a minute.
Maybe you can enable from your end so that I can share.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Douglas. I think I have changed my browser. I think the browser I was using, maybe it had some limitations. Now I'm okay. Now I'm good to go. Hope audible from your end. Can you confirm, Douglas?
Yes, you are very much audible, Rogers.
Okay. Then I proceed sharing my screen. Okay, hopefully my screen is visible too.
It is.
Okay, as I said, like you don't need to know a lot of technicalities of building AI agents. You don't need to know about a lot of machine learning or about of AI codes for you to build something useful for your company or for your individual projects. So you can build something using Google Cloud, and we are going to see how we can use Dialogflow CX feature on Google Cloud for you to build something. So yeah, let's get started. So in this use case scenario, I'm assuming like in your company, for example, you want to build an agent to answer questions related to certain information, and that information is only supposed maybe is only accessed within the company, or the information is in within the company and it's not online. You want to build an application for people or for clients to access the information. So in that case, we can use Google Cloud Virtual Agents, and I'm just going to give a brief introduction on where we were initially and where we are in this age of AI. Before, when developers used to build agents, they used to add code, meaning they used to do if functions, like if a client say this, answer this, and answer this. That one was so tiresome, and it was not possible for the developer to cover all the questions that the client may ask or the user may ask. So we found out that building the agents was more complex um, from the year 2000 to up to 2017, because 2017 is where things turned around. OpenAI came up with ChatGPT in 2022, and Google was doing its thing, and then now we are to the year today with the era where we have agents which are agents chatbots which are more intelligent. So and you realize that when you are conversing with agents, agents are supposed to have natural language capabilities. What I mean by this is the way I can ask a question to an agent is not the way you can ask a question. We may ask differently, but we have the same intent. For example, if I want to buy, for example, something from a shop, I can use a certain language, or maybe I can ask in a certain way, and also you can also buy the same product in a different way. So having the chatbot having natural language capabilities is that it's able to understand the intent of the user or the intent of the client. So Google Cloud has so many tools. It has tools that enable us to build that agent. Um, it has conversational AI capabilities, and of course, that conversational AI capabilities is being supported by the foundational models. And also, it has enterprise search, where enterprise search engine that now retrieve that information. And as I said, we are going to use Dialogflow CX. We are going to see how we can use that. This is the tool. So initially, this is how the conversation of an agent goes. Of course, an agent has pages. Pages is where you can have conversations, like the agent is able to know where you are. For example, if I go to an agent and I say hi, the agent is able to understand that it's a start page. Maybe it's going to introduce or welcome me to the platform. Assuming that it's an agent for ordering pizza, for example, if I can add pizza to the cart, or want to check out. So there are so many pages in within the agent where you can do different operations. There is a page where you can check out. There's a page where you can make payments. There's a page where you can ask questions. Yeah. And then, as I said, the chatbot has natural language understanding capabilities. This is behind the scenes. Actually, this is the design flow of how we are going to build. When you are making an agent, have to design, build, train, and evaluate. But most of the things happen behind the scenes. You can't see them, but behind this, how it happens in that tool. And then, yeah. So Dialogflow end to end, this is how it works. For example, here is the user. The user can make a request, maybe via text or a call. It goes to of course, the request will go to the front end. The user makes the request in the front end, and then that request is being sent to API. Now the API in this case is Dialogflow CX. And then we get the response. Sometimes also you can link the capability. It has the capability to link to webhooks or to other external sources. For example, if you have a CRM, you want the chatbot to retrieve some information from the CRM. It has that capability for you to link to an external APIs or external database. Yeah, this is the whole flow. I'm going to share these slides with Douglas, so Douglas can share later with you. Yeah, and also this tool has so many SDKs. It has inbuilt SDKs, for example, for Python, Golang, Java. This is not all the programming languages, which I know there are so many languages, but this is a sample of the SDKs which has this tool as for the API. So once we build our agent, we are going to test the agent, of course, before we make deployments. And then we are going to integrate to our applications, whether it's a website or an Android application or another tool that you may want the agent to be integrated to. It has so many inbuilt integrations. For example, these are, oh, sorry, no. Right. So these are some of the inbuilt integrations. For example, you can integrate with Messenger. I think Messenger is for Facebook. You can integrate with Twilio. Twilio, if you have the capability of integrating with Twilio, you can also integrate it with WhatsApp. You can use Dialogflow, Messenger, and so many other tools which I didn't include here today, but we are going to see them on the cloud. So we start. I already shared the link. If you still don't have the link, this is the link for you to access the Google Cloud credits that we are going to use today. Right. So we do the demo. Okay, for you to access Google Cloud, we use console.cloud.google.com. Yes, if you go to Google Cloud, you will land to a page like this. This is the first page you will see on Google Cloud. So you have a project like where you want to build your own things. And for your case, if this is your first time you are opening a Google Cloud account, it will prompt you to have a project. So for me already, I have so many projects over here. So these are my projects. And you can have as so many projects as possible because you have an option to create a new project. So I'm going to use this, and also just to introduce briefly on Google Cloud, we have a navigation menu over here on the left. So there are so many tools. If there are so many tools here, so I said a cloud is just a large computer which has so many tools you can use. There are tools for cybersecurity. There are tools just to create your own server instances. There are tools for AI. There are tools for data. Yeah, and so many other tools that you cannot exhaust. So today, and actually you can pinpoint tools that you always use so that they can be at the top. And also it has a search bar over here, which you can always search. If you're not sure where you can find a specific tool, but you know by the name, you can always use the search bar here to get to that specific. Okay, so today, as I said, for example, we want to build a chatbot, an agent, to harmonize data. Maybe we can be querying the agent about informations, and then the information, the agent is able to give us the information or to summarize the information. And One of the things I was thinking about is we build an agent whereby we can have a conversation with the PDF. Assuming in organizations you have so much data in terms of documents, PDFs, or database, and then you want to put them together for the agent to retrieve information, you can use Google Cloud. You can upload your PDFs to Google Cloud bucket, and then you create like now your information database, like your knowledge base. And then now when you create an agent, you will link that agent to that information or that knowledge base. So as I said, if you want to look for Google Cloud storage, you may not like locate it at an instant because it has so many things. So we can use our search bar to search for cloud buckets. You can see I have cloud buckets here. So a cloud bucket is just like a storage. A storage, it enables us to hold for information. So you can hold informations like PDFs, documents, any structured or unstructured information. So for me, of course, I had created some buckets before. So these are the buckets which I created before. And for your case, you may not have any buckets here, so you have to create. So for example, I want to create a bucket. I can create a bucket. I give it a name. So I can give it a name. Let me give it a name like session bytes. I can use this. Click on continue. I can leave everything as default. Then I proceed to create. It will take some few minutes and then it will ask me to confirm. I just go ahead and confirm. Yes. Now I have created a bucket. A bucket, it can hold so many informations. Right now it's empty because you can see here there's no information and it will prompt you to create files. So for this case, the use case we are going to use today, we are going to, for example, assuming you have a finance bill. A finance bill is a very huge document. You may not be able to read all the bills from page one to the last page for you to get information. You may want an agent which you can query, and then it gives you answers or it summarizes. This is not the only use scenario. For example, in your company, you have so many uh, documents, maybe for company policies, and you want just those policies to be accessed by the employees for you to make queries for employees to make queries for fast understanding or for fast retrieval of information. That's another use case scenario. Another use case scenario we can think, there's so many use case scenarios. For example, you have a very large website. For example, consider eCitizen. eCitizen has so many services. It has so many services for me, so many different ministries for health, for NTCA, so many information and so many pages, of course. So also in this scenario, you can build an agent which assists users on the website to access certain resources. For example, if I want to access the contact page, it may be very challenging for me to access a contact page on a website like eCitizen where it has so many resources, so many pages. So I can query the agent for me to locate for me the contact page. That's another use case scenario. And of course, there are so many other use case scenarios, so many use case scenarios so you can imagine of. So today we are going to use the one for the PDF. Maybe we have so many PDFs for the company. We want to get the agents to retrieve the information. Yes, today you will allow me use the finance bill because that's the document that I can access right now. But for your use case, you can use N document. For example, you can use N document for maybe you want to that has data and then you don't want to just do the analysis of the data. For example, you have financial data and then you just want to obtain the summary, like the totals of that document. You can also upload the same document. So for me, I can use the finance bill, and the only way I can access it, I can just check it online. The one for 2025. Yes, and when you are uploading the PDF, because we are building an agent and we don't want, we want the agents to retrieve the information from the PDF. So uploading the real PDFs, just leave alone the scanned. If you use the scanned document, the agents or the Google engines are going to, they're not going to index the information. It's going to be a chance to index the information. So make sure you use the real PDF. Let me download this and see if this is what is from Kenya law. So I'm going to see if it's a PDF. Yes, if I can be able to, yeah, this is a real PDF because I can be able to copy. Yeah, the way you can differentiate the scanned PDF from the real PDF is the scanned PDF, you are not able to copy the content from it, but you can see in this case, this a real PDF. I'm not sure if there is another PDF, but I guess, yes, we can use this. So I've downloaded this. So you can see it has so many pages. I'm going to upload it to my bucket. So I can upload a file here. Can upload a file, this file definitely. It's going to take some few, yeah, it's done. You can see I have uploaded the file, it's here. Yeah, so if I had so many other documents, I can still add more documents if those documents are relevant and I need the agent to gather the information for the documents. You can still upload more. You can find upload more files here. You can still click and then apply to so many documents. But for our use case scenario, for just this demo, this one is enough. So I can proceed to um, creating the agent now using Dialogflow CX. So I can proceed here because if I come here, it's maybe a challenge for me to find that document. But because I know the tool by the name, I can just find Dialogflow. It's loading. You can see here we have so many documents here, documentation. So I usually access this console for Dialogflow CX from our documentation. So I can open this documentation. Is this the right documentation? Let me check. No, wrong. Let me type the full name, Dialogflow CX. Yeah. You see this documentation here, Dialogflow CX. I can just click on this. This is a documentation. Actually, you can find time and go through the documentation. It's well documented how you can make an agent from Dialogflow CX. And here, the first link you will find is the console on how you can access the console. So if I click on this, it will take me now to the console for me to build the agent. I can go ahead and click on this. Right. Now I am on the console for Dialogflow CX. You can see on top, it indicates conversational agents. So I can select on which project I want to build on, because as I said, you can have so many projects. So for me, let me use this because it's the one which has the resources which I need. Resources, by resources, I mean the cloud credits which I need to build the end. For your case, once you redeem the credits, the $5 credits, and then you create the project, it's going to be linked to the credits. Right. So here, this already for me, I have so many agents, and so I want to create. For your case, this will be empty, and you have an option to create an agent. So I can create an agent here, and of course, I will select the last option, like because you can build from scratch if you don't have your knowledge base. For our scenario, we have a knowledge base, so I want to create a QA agent from URL or from the database. So I will click on this. It will take me to platform where I can choose. Yeah, it takes me where now I can figure out, like I can connect the database, I can connect the knowledge base, and then I can test. So here we are under apps. So I want to call it, of course, you have to give the company name or another name you want to call the agent. Let me use again session bytes. It's a company name, and the agent name maybe say session bytes agent. It will be okay. Yeah, you can just use any names here as long as it's unique. And then I can leave everything as default. Let it be multi-region, but if you want to make restrictions to a certain region, it's well okay on cloud, but we don't need, there's no need for us to do that. So I can continue. Right. It will now prompt me to connect the data. The data is like the where I created my bucket. So I want to connect it to that bucket. So I have so many buckets here. So I have a bucket for finance bill. I'm not sure which, yeah. Yes, I created a bucket for finance bill. So I'm going to connect that to this bucket. So for your use case, you will have a bucket here which you created, and then now you will connect to that document. So for me, I'm going to, and also you can create a data store. If you had not created the data store, you have an option also to create a data store from here. Of course, you will select as a cloud storage, and then it will prompt you to link to your data store. So in this case, I'm going to actually select the file because I'm going to link the file which is in a cloud bucket. Let's not forget that. So I select a file, and then I have an option to browse. These are the buckets I have. Yes, I can see now. These are the buckets I have. Don't mind about other buckets, but I'm looking for this bucket here, session bytes. So I will click this session bytes, and I will link this finance bill 2025. I click on select. So you can see it's selected here, and then I will click on continue. Data store name. Let's again name it session bytes. You can always be naming these tools with your names, with your preferred names. So this just you're about to finalize the creation, so I will just create. Right. So once we create, sometimes it takes few minutes for it to be indexed. I think the maximum it can take is 5 minutes if you have done every procedure well. So you can see here there's a message like you have successfully created a data store. So I will proceed to connect it with now the agent. I will create on create. Right. So once you have connected it, it automatically takes you to a preview. These are the available data stores. It clearly mentions here, like we have connected session bytes here. So I want to make a preview and see if my agent is working. So I will make a preview here. It will take me to a window where I'm able to test. All right, it takes a minute to open the window. All right. Also, don't worry about so much here. This tool has so much customizations you can make. So a lot of the things here are the ones which you can make customizations. For example, as earlier session, as I said, like you may be having some external databases or external APIs which you want to make a link or you want to make API call. So here you have tools. Under tools, you can link. Now that you can make links to different sources of the information. But today we are not going to do that. You can just go play around with this. Following the documentation actually is something very easy to follow. And yeah, here it's just a playground where you can make flows like pages you can play around with, you can design. Yeah. So for us, we want to test the agent is supposed to give me check. It's supposed to give me something here. Let me refresh. It's supposed to give me agent test scenario here where I can test the agent if it's working. All right. Yeah, it's here. Or this is a simulator. Let me see. Yes, so I can test it here. It's hidden on the top. Like when you look very close, you will see something on the top where it indicates chat. So you can always test it from here. So if I click on hi and then send, you see it's responding very well. Like hi, how can I assist? For example, can I ask who are you to see if it responds well? Yes, you can see here. It's just these are the tools for the development. It just say I'm a hair assistant and assignment by Session Bytes to help you on sessions. Right. So I can ask, tell me about the finance bill. Sorry. All right. So in this case, it says, sorry, I didn't get, can you rephrase your question? So when it says this, just know like the PDF which you have uploaded is not indexed. So you may need to give it some time for it to be indexed. So that's why earlier before I had uploaded PDF. So for this session, because I knew like, if I need to upload a document, it may take some minutes for it to be indexed. So I had uploaded some documents. So let me link to a different document, the same finance bill. We just come back. We start window. Let me just go back to an agent. Right. I will unlink this. Let me just go back again. I can create a new data store. Let me see the available data stores. Finance bill. Right. I think this document is indexed. We can use these. So we just come to available data stores and to apps. Let me go back. Connected data store, session bytes. I can add an existing data store. Let me add this. I'm not sure if it has added that. Let me use this. We go to preview. Right, let me test if it's working. Yes, it's working. This the document which I uploaded earlier today. So this is now indexed because the chatbot is able to retrieve information. It's indexed. Sometimes it takes like, for me, I think it should take 5 minutes to 10 minutes maximum. So you see, if I ask any question about the finance bill, it's able to retrieve. For example, here I asked, tell me about the finance bill. The finance bill proposes amendments to income tax, blah, 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 blah. I can say summarize summarize the finance bill. Let's see, it's right. Yeah, some informations like regarding country reporting for multinational enterprises groups. I can also ask another question I want to understand about the finance bill. For example, I can ask the products or services which are more likely affected. Okay, so I can ask which products and services which are more affected. So, right. I think this for testing. Let me see. It's giving me the same questions. Let me ask again. Yeah. Oh, right. Yeah, it was. Yeah, I think it's because it gives me information. So I thought it's the same answer. So it gives me the bill, find several terms related to taxation. Bills includes provisional. Is it summarizing or giving different? I think the information is different. This one ends here. So it has told me something about employment. Yeah, I haven't read the finance bill, so I may not understand all the terms. But you can test your service here, and you can see it's working. It's able to give you information. So once you have tested and seen that agent is working well, you can now integrate it with your applications. How do we do that? So under here, manage. If you come to manage, not really manage, on this, if you hover on this navigation bar and then you come to integrations, you can see I click on integrations, it will take me to, let me close this window. Can close this window. Yeah. You can see so many different integrations that I can do. I can integrate with a conversation with a phone. If you do this, you have to link with a number. If I click this, you have to create a number, and of course, it will give you a default one for you to request a number and to make a call. Maybe I can request a number. I'm not sure if this works, so I'm going to do it here. Conversation display name. It's again session bytes. It's in English. Enable call companion, not necessary. I don't know. Can enable? Yeah, so we can press the button for save. Oh, I'm supposed to select a number, so I can choose this number, maybe this one, and I can click save. So it has given me a number, but sometimes if you want now to be linked to a number, I think you have to request a number or you have to buy a number for that particular agent. So if you dial this, so it means you are going to be able to make conversations, one-on-one conversations with your agent regarding the finance bill or regarding the information which you link to your agent. So I'm not sure if I'm able to test this. Um, Let me just, I'm not able to, let me see if I'm able to dial, but you can test if this feature is working. You can just call this number and then if you get a response. This one way of exposing your agent via call, and also you can extend your agent now via conversation where text, someone can text. So I can click on integration again and I see another integrations which I have. I have clicked this, so let me go back. Um, you see, you can integrate with Google Chat, you can integrate with Messenger. For our case, let me use Messenger as the suggested, like the default. Here you can do some little settings, maybe where you want your chatbot to appear, maybe on the left, on the right. Pop-up for me is okay on the right. Right, so, and then I enable. All right, so yeah, you can do some settings, and then of course I can, once I click on enable, it will give me a widget, code widget. A code widget's now like the code that I can insert on my applications. If I have a website, I can insert this code on the home page or HTML home page. Within the body, I can insert it there, so it can, once someone browses the website, it can pop up. So I can copy this and then click on done. So if you have a website, for my case, you can use an online, let me use an online code editor to demonstrate this code editor. Let me use any online code editor to demonstrate this. Let me use free online code editor. Let me use this. Yeah, assuming if you run this, you will see this website. For example, this is the code, the index page, and this is assumingly this is your website, and this is how your page looks like. So I can insert the code within my body here. This is the code which I picked from Google Cloud. This where was that? I picked it from here. from here, and now I've inserted it here. So, and then I can click on run. So it's you see it's has appeared here on the bottom right. If this is our website, so if this is your website, it will appear here, and then once I click here, it will open for now. For me now, like to query now the agent, and of course it will be making requests to your agent on the cloud. That's Google Cloud. So yeah, you can see it works. Greetings, how can I assist? Maybe tell me about the finance bill. Yeah, yes, it works exactly. So it answers questions from your PDF or your knowledge base, which you have uploaded on Google Cloud. Yeah, let me also ask another question, which I was asking earlier before. Which products are more affected? Right, yeah. It says me the Finance Bill 2025 outlines several products as a blah, blah, blah. Duties include motorcycles, electrical, solar, blah, 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 and so many other things. So this tells you where like our agent on Google Cloud is working. So we can take this agent wherever we want because we already have the agent. We have the widget code here, so we can take our widget code to whatever application we want to use. Yes, and of course, it has capability for you. If you want to make some styling, of course, you have all the code here. I think this is the CSS. If you are good in CSS, it has it has some hooks here which you can use to design this UI. I can set the UI of the agent, and of course on Google Cloud, I think there's a place where you can do that. They have given a documentation. If you want to change the layout, make a design, they have given you the documentations here. Conversational message brings you a rich UI for conversational agents that enables developers to help add conversational agents, blah, blah, blah. So there's this link here for UI settings. If I click on this UI settings, it will take me here where I am able now to design the UI real time because I can be changing colors as I observe here. How the user requests, which color will be user requests and agent requests, different colors. You can modify the colors from here, and so many other stuffs. I think this you can go and play around with it. Yep. So this is the whole process cycle, and you see, we have not touched code anywhere. We have just used the Google Cloud to build an agent which works. And I think out there in the industry, even if people are talking more about AI agents, they're not really building applications which can be used in the industry. You find people are talking about the AI agents, but there's no useful thing out of it. But you can use, I've demonstrated how you can use Google Cloud for you to build an agent really usable. You can use it in your applications, your personal projects, or the project of the company to bring the AI experience to your applications. Yeah, so this like, and of course we have taken like very short time to build an application. You can imagine how before it used to be like you have to sit down, you have to write a lot of code, you have to do a lot of testing, and then deployment was another headache. You have to deploy here, errors, and finally maybe you will give up along the way. But you can see here how Google Cloud brings the AI agents experience is very simple, and of course I understand there are so many tools of making AI agents. There's so many technologies coming up, but this one comes in and you want to summarize information, or you want to expose certain information to users, which is within the company, it's not online. For example, in our case, if you want to ask something about the weather, for example, something out of topic, for example, I can ask, uh, if I ask who is the president of Kenya, well, I don't know if the president is mentioned in the finance bill. Let me try. I'm not typing. Who's the president of Kenya? This is something I want to assume this is something out of context. I think the president is mentioned somewhere in the finance bill because, yeah, I think the finance bill demonstrates like how the passing process. So the president might have been mentioned in the finance bill. So let me ask something out of context. Out of context, what is the weather in Nairobi? Yeah, I think this is out of context. So if I click on this, yeah, it's going to say, sorry, I don't know. So this is different from other agents. It's not the same as ChatGPT or Gemini, because if I ask ChatGPT what's the weather in Nairobi, I accept it to give. So this is confined within certain information which exists in a company. You don't want to export it to outside, or maybe the information in within an organizations, and it's not accessible online. So this other way you can expose that information to users, to intended users. Yeah. I don't know if there's any questions. I think Douglas, that's the whole life cycle. I don't know if I've covered everything, but also I'm going to share links to documentations. Earlier on, I indicated the documentation where you can get. Yeah, this is one of the one of areas where you can get the documentations, how you can play around, how you can integrate it with other systems. As I said earlier before, how you can make it multilingual, like it can accept the Swahili. For example, in our case, yeah, if I ask Swahili, I'm not sure if it's going to answer me. If I ask the agent habari yako, it knows Swahili. Okay. Maybe I don't. Maybe I'm not sure if it understands Kikuyu or other languages. But in Swahili, it seems it works. Maybe let me ask another question in Swahili. Which question I can ask in Swahili? Um, how do we call summarize? Summarize in Swahili. Okay, I'm not able to in Swahili. Okay, which question I can ask in Swahili? Maybe, okay, let me say this. Summarize the finance bill in Swahili. Maybe I just want to just testing it here with Swahili. Unfortunately, no, it's not understanding Swahili. So if you want to make your agent to be multilingual, I think there's here configurations, not here. Where is the agent? Yeah, we have so many settings here. There's settings for languages. You see it's in English, so you can add another language. So these are settings you can play around with, just to make sure like your agent is user friendly. It's has so many. You can also, if also you want to, this agent has access to Gemini. So um, if you want to change the ML, or you want now to you want the agent, these agents nowadays, they learn as more users ask questions, it continues to learn. So you can set your ML is your machine learning, the machine learning capability from here. Here we have set like standard natural language understanding, training. uh, of course, it's completed. Now you want to train again, with different parameters. For example, you can increase this to 0.8 or 0 point something. It understands. Maybe you want also to your natural language, the natural language understanding of the agent to be more advanced. You can also change from this here. So it has the whole set of tools which you can use to make sure that your agent is user friendly. All right. I think, Douglas, that's it from me. Want to welcome questions if there are any. But if there's somewhere where you get lost, this video is available. You can always go back and then you try it with your own pace. And the link for Google Cloud credits is active only today. So if you have not redeemed, you can redeem it today. Once you redeem, the credits will be for you the whole of the year, 365 days. So you can use them anytime. But make sure you redeem the credits today because the link is only active today. Thank you, Douglas. Yes, hello, Douglas.
Wow, wow, that was a very practical and informative session. I know for the first time we are having such technical sessions here, and some of these particular things you can be sure, since AI is a new thing in the tech spaces, a number of us are seeing them for the first time. Dialogflow, storage buckets, those kind of AI agents, natural language processing. So thank you so much, Rogers. You are a very smart and intelligent guy, and I've really loved your insights. I know very many of the people who are watching, they're also in a better position to really understand now how those chatbots work. They at least have an overview. You can also borrow the same concepts to implement that in your organization. I think Rogers mentioned that he's only using the finance bill for test purposes, but it is not limited to that. So thank you from our community. We are very grateful for setting aside time to come share with us, show us how things work in the background, and also motivating us to know that for you to develop such things, you don't need to hard code or have this kind of knowledge in frameworks and every other thing. You've made it very simple. I'm even motivated to do a lot more on that. Again, thank you so much for the credits you've offered us for Google Cloud credits. For those who are watching this live session, you can see in the chat box, we have that link there. I don't see any questions from the chat box as such, Rogers, and I know majorly it's because this is a new concept and the majority of the people are trying to understand. But I know they love to engage you maybe separately. So if you can share your X account or LinkedIn, perhaps that can help so that, and again, if you're okay, if someone can reach out to you, you can share those platforms with us. I can see someone was asking whether it can understand shame. I don't know, perhaps you can train the model to understand that. Yeah, and for those who've been active in the chat box, I can see Pablo who was reminding Rogers that the Swahili translation for summarize is fupisha. Yeah, I think they used to study that in high school at what point.
Yeah.
But for those who used the KCC system, yeah, so Rogers, at least in as far as you've taught us about cloud computing and complex things, at least right now you know the Swahili translation for summarize is fupisha.
Thank
Okay,
you.
that's from Pablo. Yeah, so from us, I don't think there is any much of feedback from our end, but you can keep checking in the live video, Rogers. If there'll be questions arising from that, you can maybe answer them as people do the practical session on their own. Yeah, so you can just give us your final shots and also let us know where we can find you or engage you, and if you're available for any kind of mentorship or any other opportunities that you have. So back to you, Rogers, as we wind up.
Okay. Thank you. Yes, I can say yes. I'm available for mentorship. anybody who wants to reach out to be mentored in AI or cloud, I'm always available, and you can always reach me out through any other platform. You can reach me through LinkedIn. Just Rogers Indocha on LinkedIn. Also on Twitter, nowadays X, as Indocha, Rogers Indocha. And I'm also going to give my email. You can also use ndocharogers@gmail.com. Yeah, I'm not able to display here on the screen. Yeah, but you can use also Douglas. Maybe you can share my email, ndocharogers.com. Which other thing, other platform? Yes, my number. Once you reach out on LinkedIn and maybe we get in touch. Sometimes LinkedIn is slow. You can send a message, maybe wait for all day to get a response. You can reach out to my number. You can request my number. Once we get in touch on LinkedIn, I can share my number, and then you reach out. Yes, and about the slides, you can also request for me the slides, maybe on LinkedIn or through email. I'm also going to give them out to Douglas. Yeah, so keep learning. Of course, AI is a new field, and there are so many opportunities that comes with new field, because actually everybody is just figuring out how to do AI. Companies, they're not, these companies like Google, OpenAI, so also they're not sure, like they're also trying out so many different things. So everybody is on a learning process individually. Also, the all tech ecosystem, like the AI industry, is also on a learning process. So let's keep learning, and of course, yeah, the future is promising. So meanwhile, we need to build products, like build this for your company, build this for yourself. At least people will get to make use of the AI tools which are already available at the moment. And I also want to believe that more tools are coming, because more people right now are doing research in AI, are just coming up with new tools. As they come, we build real products that will be very awesome. So that's it from me. If you have any questions, again, you can just reach out you can reach out to me anytime. Yeah, and maybe hope to see you soon, maybe in a different session, or yeah, or another platform. Thank you so much, Dagi, and everyone who is watching this.
Okay. Thanks, Rogers. Yeah, also receive remarks from Geoffrey Matieso, saying a good job. You've done a good job, and I guess the very many people who've watched can acknowledge that. So that is it that we had for today, community. Next Friday, we're also having another session, same place, same time. Yeah, but as you build your applications, just reach out to Rogers in case you want to configure chatbots in your web application, in your mobile app, or any other platform that you are building. It can be a good referral point. Rogers Ndocha is a GDE expert, like we said when we were starting. He has quite a number of years of experience regarding AI and cloud. Yeah, so reach out to him whenever you are stuck. I will put whatever he has said, including the links and the contacts, in the description of this video, so you can come back and check it out. But from us, thank you, and bye-bye, everyone. See you next Friday.
Bye-bye.